Good evening, everybody. August 24th, 2021, and Bitcoin is finally giving us the pullback that I've been looking for. So I want to go in here down to the micro and see what we're dealing with. At the moment, it has hit the fib extension, the 1.236 fib extension of this move, which should be the one down and a little two up here. So we've hit the 1.236 extension, which at the moment leaves us still with the possibility of this maybe being ABC to that point, which would then eliminate the rest of this move down. I don't think that's likely. This looks more like a five-wave move to me. So we're looking for basically within this parentheses 3, we should have 5 waves down. So we've got a little micro 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 should take us into this box here. Somewhere between 47,000 and 47.4 thousand. We should see this box hit there. And then potentially a little bounce up into this region for 4. And finally down in 5 to about 46.3 to 46.7. So what I've been looking for this entire time is basically a move to like 47.5 down to 46K at a minimum. So we have sort of struck that. I think this was 47.6. So we've really struck the minimum requirement for a pullback at this point, and it may surprise me and go up from here. But what I posted in the group today basically is that if it goes back above 49K, that would be an indication, an initial indication that this is in fact a three-wave drop, and maybe the correction is over and we can go up from there. So 49K is what I'm looking for, and realistically it's the 618, it's more like 48,750, but I'm just calling it 49K as a round number. If we get above 49, maybe the correction's over. If we break above this high, then I think we're on our way up to 59 then in the alternate scenario. But let's assume for a moment that this is the correct scenario that I've got drawn out here. And if so, like I said, it should come down a little bit further, get a little dip overnight, might see a little pump back up into this area, and then a final dip down, like I said, right around that 46K. And I've been looking at this 46K region as sort of the middle of all of this action here, for the possibility of this being a high B and then needing a lower C. And this being 5 waves really makes that a lot more likely. So if we get this, if we get all the way down here in these 5 waves, what we should see then, after we get 5 down, we should then see 3 up, and I don't know exactly how high, but 3 up somewhere. So if we strike this and then go above 49K, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're out of the woods. If we hit this and do any 3-wave move up, we can still then see a 5-wave move after that down into these lower regions where I'm looking for larger buys to come in. So at the moment, that is my primary expectation. Bitcoin has a way of obviously, not doing what you expect, but let me remove this micro fib. I've got my boxes in there for what we expect for now. So if we do this, so this will be like our A wave basically. We'll do an A, and then wherever B comes up after this, we'll anchor that. So let's just call it 49K. And then from there, for a C wave down, we'll expect 5 waves down, and that will likely strike between the 618 and the 1236 is typically where the C wave goes. So it may hold a little bit higher than where I was expecting. It really depends on how high that B wave goes and how this plays out. But if we get like a little tiny little B wave, then we could still get down here into that 42, 43K range. And it could also extend, of course, as well, and get down into this primary area that I'm interested in based on the horizontal support, which is more like 40, 41 to 43, somewhere in that range. So yeah, we'll keep monitoring this action, but that is my scenario here for the short term, and we'll go from there as far as what we're going to do. Now, this is not necessarily a bad place to grab some longs if we get here, about 46.3 to 46.7. If we get into that region, we'll almost certainly have, at a minimum, a dead cat bounce up, but it is also possible that in the more bullish scenario, which I'll switch over to then, that we actually finish this off and we're just done with the move. Because it's 5 waves, I don't expect that to happen, but it is possible. So at a minimum, we could grab some longs there for a scalp up, and then also have some longs for if in fact it does say that it's done and it progresses up to a new high, then we'll have some longs in that area. So so this is the other chart that I've been looking at here. In this one, we're already in the heart of the third wave here, which takes us up to 59K approximately. And the minimum expectation was this green box, which we haven't quite struck yet. We did get pretty close, but so like I said, in the micro count, this being our 1, 2, 3 should come down a little bit, 4 and 5 should go a little deeper down to like 46.7, which lines up really nicely with this 0.5 fib. That would give us a better entry into this zone here. And it really has to hold above 46, right, this region here, for it to continue in this path. If we break down below 46, my expectation is that we'll then go a little bit lower. We'll probably break down below this low here, and then this count is out the window, and I'm back to my primary scenario. So we'll see how that plays out, but I'm showing this chart because this region here is certainly possible that that's the end of the correction, and then we should see a strong move up from there into this into these targets up here. So that is sort of the secondary scenario if this surprises me and holds above 46K and then proceeds to make a new high. That's what I would expect. So again, like I said, not a bad idea to grab maybe some longs around 46.7 or take profit on shorts. I called in the group a short from right around 49K up to 50K. So I've got a short right now from I think like 49.5 is my average. And I will take some profits off of that in the 46.7 region and maybe try to grab a little scalp long there. So that is my plan on Bitcoin for the moment, and then we'll see what it looks like off of that 46.7 low, if it looks like a corrective move or if it looks like an impulsive move. Sometimes you can tell, sometimes you can't. But yeah, I think that's all of the parameters that I'm looking for there. So so that's good news, basically, that we can kind of tighten up stops on those shorts. I've got break evens on my shorts and a new target place to take some profit off. All right, I think that's it for the update. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.